So if you're looking to start a faceless YouTube channel with AI, this might actually be the best video on the entirety of YouTube that you can spend your time on, because that is exactly what I'm going to show you step by step, which AI tools that you need to use, how you actually use them, and all of the other nitty-gritty, strategies that you should implement along the way. I'm gonna show you everything. And by the way, I apologize for the poor background. I just wanted to get this video out as fast as possible for you guys. But for everyone that do not know me, my name is Leo. I made over $3 million from YouTube Automation within just 2.5 years of starting. And that is of course utilizing AI and a bunch of different other strategies that I will actually be showing you in this video. Here, for example, you can see what seems to be a Shopify store. You might think like, oh, is this guy doing dropshipping? But no, this is actually a digital product that I've sold through one of my faceless YouTube channels. So if you didn't know, like, there are multiple revenue opportunities on YouTube, and this is one of them. So you can see that it has generated me over $1.2 million in just the last 365 days. That would mean approximately an average of $100,000 per month from just this one store. Not even the other monetization methods like ad revenue from that specific channel where I host this store. And of course, it is not only me getting these results. Here's an insight to my private community. You can see Sar here. Just within the first month of starting to post on the channel, he's already on his path to getting monetized. You can see here $1,690 from a single video from Rachel here, and the list just goes on and on. So I am not the only one, like the outlier, getting results. There are people, everyday people working their regular jobs, they're also hopping on this opportunity, starting faceless YouTube channels with AI. But yeah, I absolutely hate these cheesy intros, so let's just get into the good stuff. So take a look at this channel right here. It's called Moodside. It's got 52,000 subscribers. And you might not believe it at first glance, but this channel is actually making over $20,000, well over $20,000 per month in just YouTube ad revenue. That is not counting any other money that they could be making through affiliate marketing and stuff. In just YouTube ad revenue, it's making over 20K. So just taking a quick glance at the videos, you can see that it's some kind of, geological, or I'm not really sure what's called, but it's about animals or, someone doing something to nature, and then the outcome is, super unexpected or amazing, whatever. It's kind of clickbaity, but that's what it is. So let's actually take a look at one of their most recent videos. This one 7 days ago.
What if I told you a story of how the harsh and gritty environment of one of Earth's uninhabited islands led to noticeable physical and behavioral?
So as you can see, the production quality is simply not the best. Like, it's a pretty poor quality AI voiceover. There is just footage from some nature show or footage found on the internet that is being displayed, and that is basically it. So they're making 20K per month from content that is super easy to recreate. So I thought, why don't I just show you guys how to do it? So step number one, and that is coming up with your video topics. So I can tell you, based on my experience, what topic you actually proceed with will determine if you will be successful or not. Because if you make a video on a topic that everyone loves and everyone is super interested in, then you will get a lot of views. Your video will potentially even go viral. But if you make a video on a topic that is simply crap and no one gives a shit about that kind of video, then you will get no views, no matter how good the production value of your video actually is. So even at this first step, we can utilize AI and ChatGPT in order to help us with the ideation. So I would just go onto the latest tab of the channel. I'm just gonna drag and hold in the mouse to kind of copy all of these videos so that we have a big list of a bunch of relevant topics that they've obviously succeeded with. They've got millions of views, hundreds of thousands of views with these topics. We're gonna go over to ChatGPT, and I've already prepared a little prompt here. You can simply pause the video if you want to rewrite this yourself. It is not something super advanced. I just wrote it in 10 seconds. So I just prepared this prompt. I will paste in the content that I just copied from the channel. It will look super weird, but that is how it should look. And then I just send it to ChatGPT. Now what will happen is that ChatGPT will simply process all of this data. It will look at what is getting the most amount of views. Since you can see here in the input that we gave, the views are specified. So ChatGPT can use this to its advantage. So it will now suggest me similar topics, but that are potentially even more unique that the channel hasn't used yet. But let's take a look at what we actually got. So number one, they parachuted cats into the jungle. Years later, the chain reaction shocked everyone. All of this should be, actually real events, since ChatGPT was doing the research. Could be interesting, parachuting cats into the jungle could definitely make for an interesting video. They brought back wolves to a silent valley. Decades later, the forest fought back. Yellowstone reintroduces wolves. Yellowstone is a very good thing to use in your video, since everyone knows what the Yellowstone National Park is, or at least in my opinion they should know. So this is essentially how you would come up with unique topics. Super simple, just took a minute. Now, a very important thing to note here, if you want to maximize your performance, and these are, you know, some of the small tips that we also give to the students in the program. If you want to maximize your performance and actually, you know, increase the chances of you going viral, you should preferably just go to the popular tab of the channel and then take the most viral video that they have done in this specific niche. You can see that they have old videos from, you know, a year ago that isn't really relevant to the content that they're posting now, so you wouldn't use that one. But this one, Saudi Arabia buried millions of gallons of salt water under sand. Result is unreal. We would simply take that topic and just use the proven concept for our own channel. They have already proven that the video is possible to go viral, so why would we try to reinvent the wheel and come up with new topics that we don't know if people are interested in? So in this case, I will go forward with the Saudi Arabia topic, but that leads us on to step number 2, and that is generating the script. So since we are still leveraging AI, what we can do here is just go onto the reference video, if you do have one, of a very viral topic. You simply copy the link to it like this, head over to a whatever website that can generate the transcript for you. You can even extract the transcript from the YouTube website itself. I would recommend that. But a website like this works perfectly fine. Simply copy the URL, get the free transcript, and just copy here. Boom. Now you have the full story and the proven kind of script that we can then reuse in Claude to make our own. So this right here is Claude. As I mentioned, it is the perfect script writing tool. Essentially, the reason why we are not using ChatGPT, and that might shock a lot of you guys, is simply due to the fact that ChatGPT, in my opinion, is just quite annoying when it comes to script writing. It usually formats the script quite oddly, which Claude doesn't do. It just gives you the raw script. And if you're trying to make longer videos, which is currently the meta on YouTube, longer videos currently perform better because they keep the viewer on the platform for longer, which YouTube really likes. Claude is able to make super long scripts without, you know, facing the regular hurdles that ChatGPT would. And that is that ChatGPT can only generate like 1,000 or 2,000 words at a time, but Claude can generate like 5,000 to 10,000 words in one prompt, which is crazy. But in order to generate the script, you simply write a prompt like this, you paste in the transcript that you just generated, and you send the prompt. You'll see that Claude starts to work here. Sometimes if you format your prompt kind of weirdly, Claude might tell you like, hey, we can't copy another person's script, because you probably told Claude that you want the script to be a one-of-one replica, and that is of course a breach of copyright, which is not allowed. And as you can see here, we now have a script for an 8 to 12 minutes long video, depending on pacing. I would say that this is a bit too short to be 8 to 12 minutes. So if I was actually making this video, I would probably ask Claude to expand on each of the different segments here. But now we have a full script in just a few minutes, and that leads us on to step number 3, which is generating the voiceover, or the voice that will be narrating this entire story. And for that, we will be using 11 Labs. This is the best platform when it comes to AI voices. They have the highest quality voices. It's also quite cheap. There are, hundreds of different alternatives, but 11 Labs is essentially one of the first AI voiceover websites, and they simply do it the best. But this is how the homepage look. So you would go over to the voices tab in the top left corner, and you'll get to a library with unlimited voices essentially. And for this kind of content, you would preferably want someone that sounds more middle-aged, a male like a UK professor, whatever. With 11 Labs, you can simply just filter here using the filter button. Accent, or first of all language, of course, we want it to be English. Accent, we want it to be British. There we go. Perfect. We would want a narrative and story type category. Quality can be any. Gender, male, age, middle-aged. Perfect. And that is pretty much everything that you need to apply. we will now get a bunch of voices in front of us that you can preview. And then you just want to play through a bunch of voices until you find someone that you like and that fits your specific niche. So for example, I found Bradford here. Let's take a quick listen.
Architecture is the thoughtful arrangement of space to uplift the
You know, sounds perfect. That will fit very well for the channel. So we just go to the right here and press on add to my voices. It will now be added to your voice library. That means that you can now head over to the text to speech tab in the playground to the left. And here you can see that I've already done this for another video. But you simply have your field here where you can add whatever text that you want to, and 11 Labs will turn that into a voice narrating the text. So I'll of course paste in the intro of my video here. I will select the Bradford voice that we were just choosing in the library, and then just press on generate speech. And this is the result.
What if I told you that Saudi Arabia, one of the world's driest countries.
And you could hear that there was a slight unnatural pause between these words here, and that is due to this one character. You can play around with the different characters that you use in the text that you give 11 Labs, because that will change the outcome that you get. So if I would change this for like a comma, then that would completely change the outcome if I do regenerate it. Another great tip here is that you shouldn't try to generate your entire script at once, because what then will happen is that if there's any mistake by the AI in your generated voiceover, you would have to regenerate the entire script or the entire kind of segment that you put in there, and you will burn through all of the credits quite quick. Because remember, this is a paid platform, although it's very cheap, you will still burn through the credits quite quick if you use it just recklessly. But once you're happy with the result, you simply download your generation. So that is the script done and the voiceover done as well. Now you have 2/3 of the video completed, meaning that we can move on to the next step. And that is number 4, putting the video together with assets, in other words, editing. And I know that this might feel like a daunting step. You might sit there and think like, I don't know how to edit. I don't even know where to start, what software to use. But the reality when it comes to YouTube automation is that you should not be the arms and legs of your channels. You should outsource all of this kind of repetitive work to a freelancer. So the editing is a quite complex skill that you most likely don't know, I'm just assuming. So it would make sense for you to save that time and simply outsource that to a freelancer, right? And instead of following the advice of all of the other guys here on YouTube, just telling you to, you know, go on Fiverr, find an editor real quick, where you will find the best talent is on niched discords, just like this one. So this one is called Video Editors, and this is where I, my students, and the guys making, you know, $150,000 to $200,000 from faceless YouTube are hiring editors, simply because the quality of the freelancers are the best. It's cheap work, they know what they're doing, and they're already familiar with the YouTube automation concept. So you're better finding someone through this method than going on Fiverr and Upwork and just getting exploited by someone who, you know, is used to kind of scamming beginners. Anyways, it looks like this. I'll put the link to the community in the description. You can see that there's a channel here called Post a Job. Simply click on that one and you'll see a button here called Paid Request. Click on that one as well. You'll get this pop-up window, and basically you just fill in the details of what you're looking for, examples if possible of reference channels. In this case, I will just go back to this channel, copy the link to the video, and then simply put that in the example URLs field. Perfect. What is your budget? You know, what payment service you use, describe what you need. And of course, in the what are you looking for field, you'll just write something like editor for faceless YouTube channel, check examples, whatever. And as soon as you submit this and it actually gets approved by the moderators in the Discord community, you will get a shitload of DMs from editors that are wanting to work on your project. So you'll have to individually sit there and negotiate with all of them, collect samples from them, meaning that they test edit the video for you, not the entire video, but the first 15 to 20 seconds. And this is so that you can see that the work that they will be providing is up to par with what they've told you. So some editors will just try to show you a fake portfolio of work that isn't even theirs. But then when you do receive the work, or even if you pay in advance, the work is nothing like they told you. So the 2 tips that I can give you when hiring editors is, first of all, always ask for a free sample, which could be 15, 20 seconds, whatever, for them to prove themselves. And second of all, never pay before the work is done. and you've seen it and you received it. If you have this in mind, you should find an editor real quick. Also, to make this hiring process even easier for everyone that is serious about starting a channel like this, in my private community, I've gathered all of the freelancers that I've worked with for a long time, meaning that they are vetted. The work that they can provide, fits the standard, and it's going to be way easier for you to find a freelancer faster than if you were only left with that one other community. So if this interests you, make sure to stick around till the end. I'll give you more information by then. But let's move on. So if you've progressed this far and actually hired an editor to complete the video for you, you should have your first draft that is ready to be posted, but you don't yet have a thumbnail. And taking a look at the reference channel, you might be wondering like, how the heck are they able to make these thumbnails? There must be some super crazy, expensive graphic designer that is photoshopping this together for them. But I can tell you that all of these thumbnails are purely made by AI. So if we scroll down, we'll find our video which is about Saudi Arabia. I will simply take a screenshot of this thumbnail, and I would then head back over to ChatGPT and open a new window. Then just write up a prompt like this. Once again, pause the video if you want the full prompt. I'm not gonna waste too much time here. I will then go ahead and attach the screenshot that I've taken. And what you will most likely face here when you're doing this with ChatGPT is that it will tell you, oh, I can't generate this, oh, I can't generate that, because it's too similar to what you are referring to. So you simply have to word your prompt a little bit better, kind of like what I'm doing right here, and say that you're using this as a concept, is something that you want to only inspire your image that you're generating with, and that should go through quite nicely. So I'll just press on generate here and hope for the best, and we'll see what we get. And boom, as you can see, just like that, we were able to create the thumbnail for our video in under 5 minutes. Of course, if you're actually gonna use this for your video, you should prompt it a few more times to make it look more realistic. This is kind of like fiction right now. You could just tell ChatGPT like, hey, I want a more realistic version of this, and you should get it. And that would help you increase the click-through rate, since your channel in this case, or my channel in this case, would be about geological facts and wonders. Then it wouldn't make sense for me to have a fake thumbnail. But that is literally how you do it. You now have your AI created video, you have your AI created thumbnail. All you need to do is to just write up a title, preferably just reusing the proven concept from your competitor once again, and you are ready to go and launch your first faceless YouTube channel. In a nutshell, this is the exact strategy that all of my winning students are using to generate here, as you can see, in the last 28 days, $12,000 from just a single channel that he's running. And that is just one of the results here in the community. Vendis here as well got approved for monetization. Don Biggie here making over $4,800 in a single month from his channel. And this even goes to crazy extents. Reed here was able to make $24,000 in the first 3 months of getting monetized with his channel. First month, you can see here, 2.8K. The month after that, $12,900 from a single channel. And August, which was ongoing at the time of him taking the screenshot, $16,900 from a single channel in just ad revenue. Now, I could be sitting going at this all day. I know only a fraction of you guys will actually care and take this seriously, but if you are that person that genuinely wants to launch their first successful faceless YouTube channel and you want the best possible help along the way that you can get, then definitely consider checking out the link in the top of the description. It is an application to join my private program where we help you one-on-one. Me and my team, we made loads of money from YouTube ourselves, and we want to help you by simply copy-pasting our knowledge and our systems. You can take them all and just apply that to your own channel and business. And that will hopefully, if executed correctly, bring you results like all of these people in here. I like to think of it in the perspective of professional athletes. You know, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, they're both like super good athletes, but without their coach and someone who's actually leading them on their journey to success, they wouldn't be where they are today, right? So if you want to know more, simply apply below. If the application looks good, we will reach out and coordinate a strategy call where we go over your situation and see if you're someone that we actually can help. Since if you are not the person that will wholeheartedly get into this and actually spend your time to grow your own faceless YouTube channel, then we most likely will not be able to work with you. We only want to work with people that we are certain we can bring results. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense in my opinion. But definitely shoot your shot. I'm excited to see you take action. But that is all for today. If you want me to make any specific video on, whatever related to YouTube automation, leave it in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoy what I do, and I'll see you in the next one.